Let us continue playing Motorsport Manager as we, Dragon Race Team China, have had a phenomenal start. We won the first race. It was a bit fortunate in some ways, but hey, the results are the results. We finished first and seventh, have 12 championship points, are currently tied top of the team standings, but that is only after one event. An event that neither of the two main teams actually did all that well in. We imagine this will change. Obviously our overall target is second, so we're going to need to pick up a few more points, and Yokohama might be one of our best opportunities to do that. We've got 17 days to try and tool up the car, minus of course repair times. We'll also have a third set of brakes which are done, so we might even have a little more advantage going on there. So car condition upgrade, 22 hours isn't bad actually, so that's fine, and we will accept an interview. I should have been more careful. Okay, he's happy with that. We're kind of learning the right answers here. But yep, one win down already. Car repair is now complete. Now we need to rather urgently get back to the business end of things. So, reliability then. In Japan, we're going to need engine, brakes, and suspension. So we no longer need these to be focused on at least. But we will need the new brakes. In fact, I'm not going to bother upgrading the second one because we know we've got a new one on the way. So we'll just focus on this and these. So hopefully that'll make them on average better until we get the new brake in, and then we'll see about that. Because honestly, it's not going to make that much difference really, a few days either way. So we'll go with that. Bikes. Somebody's into bikes. And we've done that as well. Also, we have a new sponsor this time. Let's take it up to there. Let's have a quick look. Hey, Barnaby White is racing motorbikes. That gives him an increase to smoothness, meaning we now have both drivers with 20. And he has +5 marketability, which is always a plus. Always a plus. Hasn't quite kicked us up a level, but yeah, we'll get there later. Okay, so we have brakes up to level 3 now. Could of course go all the way to brakes level 4. But I think we'll hold off for the moment and start working on the next upgrades. We are a bit low on cash, but I feel that gearbox is probably the one to go for immediately. We won't get it done in time. Not unless we want to make a quick one. We could make a quick one, I guess. Maybe a red zone reduced one, which will still be done a day before the event, then go on again. Chairman is going to be unhappy with us, but I feel this is the way to go. Okay, so a quick gearbox. And then we go to part improvements. So obviously the brakes we need to focus on a little bit. Has a plus on dry conditions, so that's always something we will be seeking. And yeah, that's all fine. So the engines are up to the 70s. We've got a bit more work to do, I guess, so we'll leave it a couple of days. Okay, likely to be rain during the race, 35% chance of rain. Super soft, soft, medium, which is fine. It's exactly what we would want. So the engines are up to 70. We'll probably, once they get to 80, maybe 2 days. That's 75, and actually that's the vote there. So replacing Rio de Janeiro with Munich. Actually don't have any spare votes anymore, do we? Pre-distributed tyre compounds, double race for the final points, spec engines. Well, if we're thinking about next season, spec engines wouldn't be a bad idea, but... Okay, so now we've got everything into the 70s. I think we're going to cut the engine support and just try and focus on these for the last 4 days. See if we can get the brakes up to good levels. Meanwhile, we should probably pick a new sponsor. So we can take the 2.7 up front for 8 races, but I feel... Oh wow, some of these are abysmal. In fact, they're all kind of abysmal, aren't they? Can I just reject these offers? Because 2.7 million is not a lot for just carrying that on. That's not a good payment, but it is only for 6 races. And we've got a few more coming online soon, so... Alright. We'll take that. Not happy about it, but we'll take it, and then we'll hope that we can get something better in the next 3. Okay. Does Renew have a future in the music industry? Well, he probably doesn't have a future in the driving industry, but we'll see. They're concerned about my financial management. I shouldn't be worried. I'm only trying to bankrupt the company. 3 days. It's not going to be great. That break is going to be a little risky. Still. Must respond. We got it. We got it. We got it. Don't be upset with me. We're still doing stuff. Right, gearbox is done. So that is an average gearbox. Let's go and spend more money, I think. Because you know me, if there's one thing we can do, it's throw money at a problem. So, reliability plus 30 at a cost of acceleration drop, which we could then counteract with that, perhaps. I prefer not to make a worse one, actually, so we'll just take the plus 30, plus 25 to max. Or maybe I'll take the plus 30 and the red zone reduction. 15 days, so that's basically no time. No, if we're going to have if we're going to spend a lot of money doing this, we're just going to take that. There we go. So again, I guess the real one custody is just our car we have when we are financially approaching oblivion. But we have gone all in for this season. We know that. And hopefully we'll be able to get some money back at the sponsorship level in a moment anyway. So, target will be 4th and above again, because that one's got a reasonable chance of. This is a medium tyre wear circuit, low fuel circuit, so I think here we're just going to go on the super soft plan. Maybe take an extra medium, extra soft, just in case we decide to do it. But I feel we should be able to make the super softs work here. Maybe do a 2-stop stint and just go soft, soft, soft. But anyway, we have new parts. The gearbox isn't going to be ready and isn't really up to scratch anyway. It's not a gearbox hurting circuit, in fairness, so I suppose we could. The downside, I guess, with this would be that that's less reliable. Alright. Barnaby, you can have the dodgy gearbox for now. Meanwhile, we'll replace... What's important here? Suspension and brakes. So we'll give you the superior brakes for the moment. Yeah, if it stays dry, soft, supers and ultras, that's going to benefit Balcazar as well. So that's a small plus 50 boost, and we'll swap the rear wing round. Suspension. I should probably keep the suspension with Balcazar because that's the important part for this seat part, isn't it? God darn it, there's just a huge difference in the rear wing. That's the problem. Well, I can't keep them both happy. That's the thing here. I can't keep them both happy. So we'll just have to go with that. Let's go practice. They tried to take this circuit off the calendar last year. Grr. Can't have that. We need Japan. And it's a damp track. So we're going to have some inter running at least. Let's go then entirely on the... I don't know actually. When do we want to play this? 17.7 is what I've got written down here. Maybe I'll do a couple of quali stints, just see about improving us there. 63. And of course inters. We don't want to burn up all of our inters is the only possible issue with this, I guess, but mind you, we were likely only to use one set during the race anyway. 17.7, 27.7, 63. Oh, and a couple of clicks there. Alright, Intus. Okay. Let's take practice. Pause, and we'll send you out on... Actually, you're on race trim. You can go there. We won't save time doing that. And what's Balcazar doing? Race trim as well. Okay, go out and do some race trim for a bit. Now we know it's likely to have it's going to be interwet at some point during the race. So again, if we can use things, we might be able to use things to our advantage here. Unfortunately, we still don't have the weather predictor device thing, which I should probably have picked up ages ago. But it's starting to look now. It's certainly looking like Balcazar's a bit more racy right now. Through the S's, along there. Fastest into time. This actually might be semi-comparative, depending on how things go here. Becker finally goes faster. And actually, it does look as if White is actually threatening at the moment. What are your bonuses right now? Overtaking smoothness and seeing it in the rain. Overall +2. Well, the rain is easing off, so we'll see how this goes. 8th and 10th. Oh, I'm really surprised at how slow we are in terms of qualifying pace, but... Oh, Balcazar's just gone quickest. Mind you, I guess that's because everybody's now starting to go quick. Alright, let's bring them both in at this point. Bring them in and we might even get a chance to do some... I don't know. I guess we move on to quali stints here, especially if we hit level 2 now. We actually did. That was near perfect. Right, Balcazar then. Go to quali trim. Stay on the inters for the moment because might as well. We will do a one click up on... One click down there and we'll see how that goes. Okay, White's got some adjusting to do. Quite a lot of it actually. Alright, so the speed balance is kind of off, so let's go lower the downforce slightly. A couple of clicks towards acceleration and maybe one click towards oversteer. Quali stint, same tyres for the moment, off you go. And I might just bring them straight back in after that. If we have time, I would like to do some dry running, but I'm not sure we'd get it. Track's definitely getting quicker. This is now the fast inter. It's on the edge of inter pace at the moment, so. Okay, so new flying laps for both of them. Just see how they're doing in the first couple of sectors actually on new inters. Both of them have gone green. White's 1.2 off the pace at that point. Let's bring Balcazar in because we want to do some more setup work. Bring you in. So we have inter knowledge done. And it's going to get wetter. I might gamble on something here because I don't know. It does seem as if this follows slightly different rules. So I'm going to put on a set of super softs. And then I'm going to put on a set of super softs. And then we're going to adjust the car setup a bit more. So that's lower downforce by another couple of points and do another tweak towards acceleration. Staying on qualifying trim for the moment. But yeah, let's just see how this goes. Putting on the soft. Because this would be quite an interesting thing here. Are we actually going to be much quicker on the softs? We have qualifying 1 at least, so that's something. If we get super soft 1 as well, we might be able to luck out and get super soft 1 the way that's going. They're still on their warm-up lap here. They will finish it, so. And we are bolting past cars, although it's now gotten a lot wetter, so. Yeah, super soft's now stopped. The only thing we're trying to gain here is quali trim. Well, I figured that was worth a go. It didn't work out in the end. We might still get quali trim 2, though. Yeah, there we go. Quali 2, so we at least have a 10% boost going in. It ultimately is not going to be our session, though, so we're just going to have to hope that we have a good shot. We're going to have multiple attacks at this one, I think. If we can get away with doing 3 quali stints, I think we'll do it. Okay, on to a dry qualifying session then. So qualifying in intermediate tyres for the oddity of that, should it ever happen. Should be dry. But we shall see. So 99%, no real need to change anything there. 98%, so we'll keep that as is. New super softs. And we will simulate the session for this one. So let's see how this goes. Currently 9th and 12th, which isn't brilliant, but fortunately scrubbing tyres again, so not able to get anywhere. Has another go. Oh, Balcazar did jump in at 8th right at the end. Unfortunately, White seemed to scrub this last lap, but 8th is not bad, and it has seemed to have reverted back to the top 3 teams, so that's at least somewhat encouraging. Valdez is rubbish. Yeah, middle of the pack's not what we want to be when we really want to get that, to get those results. Okay, now here's where the fuel situation kind of helps us out a great deal here, because we know that we are going to be able to stick on fuel. So it's not a case of fueling to the pit stop. We just have to check how long the weather gap is and then change accordingly. And we already know that 2 laps is fine. So we've got that going for us here. Second thing we have going for us is I think we are going to go on the attack from the start and see what happens. Balcazar is the master of the wet. We have intermediate tyres to 3. So we will take that. In your case, we'll go into race trim. Car setup is fine. Driver strategy is fine. Can I actually change the amount of fuel in the car anyway? No, fuel is fixed. Which is a shame, really. Otherwise, I'd take a couple of laps out. But it doesn't matter. Here, though, we have the race. So let's stick on Balcazar for the moment. Could do with a good start here. Now, it looks like we got an okay one. We're going to get bogged down by the Ferrari in front of us, but we think we've been squeezed onto the grass, but we got round. And wow, that was a reasonable start by Hamilton. Okay. So being squeezed on the inside, but that's keeping us in contention for a couple of places here. Let's speed time up and see how this goes. So we've fallen into 9th. Going to keep the attack on, though, because we should be able to make something work from here. Unfortunately, other people are making things work rather than us. White has dropped to 16th. Balcazar now 9th place. Somebody has crashed. There's no safety car, though. And that's okay for us, because that now pushes a car that would have otherwise been in the top positions away from us here. And let's see. White has now overtaken into 16th place, and Balcazar still trying to get around. Still trying to get around there. How are we looking on the weather situation? Because it's looking questionable. So I think now we're going to have to revert the fuel situation a little more. So let's go for high neutral and high neutral on both cars. So we've given up the attacking of Piquet here, but we know we're good on this. Unfortunately, Lipponen is really eating away at us there. Also, the current grid positions just suggest we should have picked 4th, but still, I'm determined, and I think we can do it. Track is still wet, and now we're going to conserve. Yeah. Piaget unfortunately has much better tyre grip than us right now, which is annoying, but something we're going to have to live with. Hoping we can outlast Lipponen behind us, but that is it. How's White doing? White is just hanging out at the back, losing time all the time. How long until the dry weather comes? It's actually not going to come, looking at that. Well, if the safety car comes out anytime soon, we might have to change tact and go for things here. Let's go medium running then. Balcazar's still being pressured here, but holding off well. Removing some fuel from the car, which does help. I thought there was another crash there, but that was of course the person from earlier. And yeah, we're looking a bit dodgy now. We're certainly not looking like the second best team, I'll be honest. Balcazar personal best, sector 1. Gap of 20.5 seconds now. I'll tell you what, we could really do with a good lunge now, shouldn't we? Alright, let's go overtake neutral. Let's push some fuel out of this car. Okay, I mean, if we went a lap down on fuel, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Because I think we can make that up. We can make a lap up. 20.5 now is the gap. And yeah, there we go. So back onto mediums. We've pushed up, we've given ourselves a little bit of a cushion to Lipponen. Kept the front runners within a pit stop. Okay, White's drops to 15th. And let's have another weather check. So yeah, the weather's gonna stay about the same, it has to be said. For at least the foreseeable future. So, here's my thinking here. If we were to make a quick pit stop with Balcazar right now, just put on a set of interboots and go out again, we'd be on fresh rubber. I'd be able to fix the rear wing, which might be something useful to us. And then hopefully, we'd be set. They might try and go longer. We might also be a bit more in line with strategy here. The thing is, I don't know whether this is a good idea. Either way, we're going to do it. Because if we stay here, we're not going to improve. And this feels like the best shot we got at getting back into this. So Balcazar into the pits. Let's go low on fuel while we're in there. So Balcazar drops to effectively back of the grid here. It was a bad repair job. That's the second bad repair thing we've had in a while. Okay, double medium and see what you can do. We gambled a little bit with this, but let's just see what happens. If Balcazar can, in fresh air, pick up another gap before these front runners come into the pits, we might be in good shape here. Clark Smith ahead of us is pitted as well, so clear air for a bit. Fresh rubber. And we're hoping it will eventually become dry. Here we're kind of approaching. So they're the lead runners sort of coming in now. We had a bad repair though, and that's unfortunately put us out of position. If we look at where Lipponen is, that's kind of a good barometer of where we were compared to where we should be. But still, clear air. 13th place, having made stop 1. And I think this is White's in lap now. So pit for a fresh set of inter tyres. repair the rear wing and gearbox while we're at it. And Balthazar's now up into 9th. Becker's behind us. Now I'm just looking at who is behind us here. Sharp's now in the pits. As is... No, so the lead cars are all coming in the pits with the exception of Sylvander and a few others. Meanwhile, Balthazar now up into 5th after all the strategy shenanigans. And I don't think we've really lost anything here. We got a reasonable shot at this, I think. So let's go a bit more conservative here, and we're looking at the weather to possibly... Oh, mistakes just keep happening with our drivers right now. Not good. So Balthazar's still 26 seconds behind. It's annoying, but we'll have to live with it. But I see dry track in about 4 laps time. Okay. So, 4 laps we reckon then. Let's go attacking. Because in 4 laps we're coming in for softs, and those softs are probably to the end. Lap 23. Okay, the attack is probably a bit much on White in fairness, but let's keep with the push anyway. And yeah, in your case probably back to conserve, back up here. Maybe, yeah, maybe even back up just for making sure of things. But our window is approaching now. We have a plan, we have a window. Lap 19. 28 seconds behind, so we'd need 3 laps of the softs with them not being on it. Or we'd need a safety car. Safety car would be fine right now. And also, we need to double check that the weather is not going to spike after that, which it could do. So good points are not necessarily out of the question at this stage. It's going to be 2 laps. Okay. So then. Valdez has a mechanical issue. Okay, that's good. He's behind us on track though. Oh, panel's come off the front wing again. Okay. Modi also retired. That promotes White a little bit. It's also going to coincide with a pit stop, isn't it? So that's going to be at least encouraging. And Balthazar now has some fuel in reserve. White can afford to push a little more. And Balthazar can afford to push. We need to keep that gap as low as it's going to get. Yeah, next lap, I think, is the time. We'll test with White. But if... Yeah, okay. Balthazar next lap, I think, is it. Just got to keep an eye on things. Valdez is already in for softs. Okay. Pit. How long can you go on the super softs? 10 laps. That is exactly what we need. Repair front wing, repair brakes. Fast, go. White, we will wait until next lap. But you might as well go for this. Yeah, attack, overtake for this lap. In fact, you go overtake, you go overtake here. We're on all-out attack now. And you are pitting. So, soft tyres. Oh, gearbox repair would take too long. We'll try and repair the suspension because that's gone through quite a lot of punishment. But beyond that, let's see. So now Balthazar will be in first, 27.4. And in we dive. So low, neutral. Please be good. Mistake on the tyres. I think, though, we got away with it because, of course, the tyres went alongside the fueling, so we didn't lose out much there. Now, though, we're in hope territory. Because if this has not worked, we're in trouble. What we need right now... is for this to suddenly switch on. So, high neutral... Ignore. It's still saying it for now, but this is where the race now becomes ours. There we go. Gap is diminishing. So Balcazar, fastest on the soft tyres. We hope. The track is now nearly bone dry. Come on. Balcazar, fastest of all in the first sector. Lippinen pits, on for new softs. They're all in the pits. They're all coming out of the pits as well. We're up to 5th. 3 drivers ahead have not pitted. That is encouraging. We're on the faster tyre than Lippinen, and ours will last. We know they will last. Okay, White has gone equal on fuel. Okay, in they come to the pits. Balcazar up to 4th, up to 3rd. So Lippinen is the only real target we have, I guess, here. Sort of keeping Big A and other people behind us. White's up into 6th. That's not a bad position for you to be in at all. Let's go high on fuel. And let's keep an eye on that weather. It's going to be dry until the end, so this is the strat now. Balcazar then trying to chase down Lippinen, which may or may not be possible. Rear wing is damaged. That's a worry. Not sure I'm going to be able to get around that then, and that might cost us the podium. Gonzalez retires, but he's nowhere near us. Yeah, this is going to have to be a high attack now. He's got more grip than us. Ah! Well, we're 4th and 6th. It's not a bad result if it finished like this. The question now is whether White can actually withstand the might of the Ferraris chasing him down. Conserve high. So I think we actually got enough high fuel to make it to the end, Balcazar, so Lippinen should also make it to the end with that soft tyre. I don't think he's that much slower than us, really. Gap increasing from... Yeah, Balcazar's not going to catch there. This could be interesting, but we'll see whether White can actually hold this one off. Well, thankfully he was given a bit of help there. Not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but... Okay, Balcazar complaining at part repairs. White's getting some warning lights. Mostly on the gearbox. Okay, we just need 1 or 2 people to not finish at this stage. Okay, there we go. That's going to be the attack. Not sure we can stop this, but let's have a go anyway. Go on to medium. Put Balcazar onto medium as well. Okay, so leaders on the final lap. Right behind this battle, really. Balcazar now just starting the final lap. And I'm just looking at that sort of graph. Lippinen... it's annoying that he's beaten us, but the good news is White is finished in 6th and is now getting away from Sylvander, which is nice. Cars are finishing. Lippinen and... Yeah, they're going to finish it. There wasn't really a time for us to attack on the strategy, really, which is a shame. Still, 4th and 6th. It's not bad for a team aiming for 4th. It's not brilliant for a team aiming for 2nd, though. But I'll definitely take it. It's some good points. Rodriguez. Victor. First points for Steinman in this season. I think they do overtake us with all of that, but... Oh dear. Scrutineering. Are there any rule breaks this early in the season? Unlikely. And it is unlikely. Still, Balcazar remains top of the championship. Lippinen then takes 2nd place combined with Piaget, which I'll decide on pronunciation on at some stage. White moves up to 6th. Dragon Race Team China is still technically top, but that is going to be a much more difficult gap to maintain. Still, we have our goal. We have a goal and we are determined. If we can score 10 points a race on average for the rest of the season, we'll be there. So, improvements for Balcazar. Relationship with the mechanic increases further. And yeah, he's slightly less happy with us because we missed our target. Still 977,000 coming in. Got the monetary reward. And now it's about whether we can keep pace on the development side, really. And also what sponsors we get. So next race is going to be Beijing. It's going to be another wet race. Top speed, acceleration, deceleration are the target and priorities. So, you should say until next time.